Okay, more spiritual target areas where you should go pray against. Let me break this down for you, man. You got to pray. Here's a real obvious one to pray against. An obelisk. Become fully studied in the obelisk, and once you can spot them, pray against and mark that spot there too. To It's like, all right, if you really want to serve Christ and you're in a building with an idol on it, you need to tear down that freaking idol. Don't tear down the building. Take the idol. Let me even phrase that. Take it down and have the spot repaired and fixed. The hole in the roof. Okay. Uh, what the heck? Am I getting another Manchurian Candidate call? Look. Look, when I put the phone up there, it stopped. Uh, anyway, it's like, look, there's every graveyard around. Look, if you want an assignment to go pray against something, every single graveyard around, well, at least most I see, if they're not totally flat and they have a high place, which means the highest point on the property, they'll probably have an obelisk there, and most likely, all right. And you know what I'm saying? So, and here's another thing about graveyards in general. Okay, look, you can look in the book of Jasher, and it talks about the first pharaoh, and he swindled all of Egypt. He was a foreigner who came in there, realized they had a superstition system of burial, and this guy figured out how he could charge them to bury their people, and he made a fortune. And then the land was mad at him, and they went to go get him. And he gave the king of Egypt at the time all the money that he made. And then the king made him his partner. When the king died, he became ruler. That was Pharaoh. He was a foreigner who stole their land. You know what I'm saying? And pimped and made all their forefathers pay to a pagan sun cult god guy that 200 bars of gold to bury the dead. Okay, so I mean, look, that's where our modern graveyard system's based on. It's not based on the biblical kind of thing. And even Jesus kind of downplayed it, like, look, you got beautiful sepulchres, but it's full of just dead man's bones. It's like, why are you so elaborate and ornamental when, you know what I'm saying? And look, that's another philosophy that's in the Indian culture. There was a time where they mimicked other people and they would bury them with all their ornaments of life. You know what I'm saying? But instead they would, when they died, they would give it as an inheritance to the rest of their family as tokens or whatever, or putting them to good use, because it's no sense in wasting things. Why does every man need to always make his own axe or his own knife? Why shouldn't these things be passed on by people who passed on? You know what I'm saying? It would save money, time, energy, resources, but no, it would make less money. So that is totally opposed to that Jasher graveyard hustle situation, which is, look, the Knights Templar, the Skull and Bones. These guys went and extracted this Jasher information way back, and they've been employing this hustle through the Catholic Church. There's another place. Listen, anywhere you see a stone statue of anything that's called a god or related to gods, that is all an idol. You know what I'm saying? That's high up the idolatry ladder. It's like, especially if you give reverence to the image and the creation of you're giving reverence unto the creation over the creator, and you're giving reverence to a dead inanimate object with no breath whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You reveal that over a man who has breath that is amongst you. You know what I'm saying? And then give no regard at all to the man who gave us all breath, or not the man, my bad. Our Father in heaven. I didn't mean to misrepresent there. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I meant. So this is another way. I mean, look, Any place that's natural. If you hear of a natural disaster like a ecological disaster, go to those areas and pray over them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a gold mine to pray for here with the lead situation, the chemical situation. You know what I'm saying? Getting my degree in chemistry. You know what I'm saying? There's another thing to pray against. You see heavy solar radiation management or geothermal engineering. You pray against that operation. Like, look, when the fucking persistent surveillance, like I heard them flying by earlier, and I was praying against these people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I remember one night I was over in Flint, and a helicopter kept flying in a fucking circle over my house, and I prayed against it. I mean, I was really praying against it, and it flew away. It was fucking crazy how that worked. I mean, it's weird like that. Cause look, I could pray about something else and it not happen for a long time, but that time right there, it was instantaneous. Like something happened, and it was weird because these are all things like that is a hindering, pesky, irritating spirit. Just that noise, you just fucking hear this constant humming, and it's a pestering. And it's like, and it's also intimidating, and it causes fear, panic, trauma. Oh my God, what's going on? Is there an accident? You get this fucking hyper anxiety type feeling, and and then you can hear the fucking sirens going constantly, and them beep beep, and I mean they do all kinds of, and you get into gang stalking where like your neighbors, like if they're all like secretly KKK. They'll coordinatedly all slam their doors just for a certain time, like just somehow to fuck with you. I mean, that is how petty and fucking crazy the whole COINTELPRO operation is. Because look, COINTELPRO is modeled off the KKK gang stalking model. So look, the professionals, these guys are modeled off the secret society, Knights Templar, KKK, Knights of the Golden Circle cult. You know what I'm saying? And these subterfuges, nefarious, freaking ever fucking pervasive secret society shit. Like, look, you see the Boule, which is the Methodist Church is related to the Boule, and on their church sign, it's a church with fire on it. It looks like to me, and every time I always seen that, I thought, man, that looked like the KKK. Man, I don't know what that reminds me of the KKK. No, actually, I listen. This is a horrible story, but there was these Indian guys. This Indian guy's dead now, and this family was called the Big Indians, and my family was the Little Indians because for some reason these guys were they were huge people for some reason, but they're from the Saginaw tribe. You know what I'm saying? And we're from the northern tribe. And but we was cool. But anyway, this dude, he was a real bad, these guys were really smart, but they were just had bad drug and alcohol problems. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't, and this is a rough city too, so I mean, it doesn't help being rough in a rough place. You know what I'm saying? That only wears you out quicker, in other words. You know, yeah, what does it say? If you over sharpen the blade, it will not hold its edge. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, man. This dude went out in Kersley, which is a freaking primarily Aryan type school, and that's I grew up out there too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not quite Aryan, but you know what I mean. On the segregation side of town, it's on Aryan side of town. Like, look, the next couple counties over to the east, that's KKK. The ones to the south, KKK. The ones to the north, KKK. I haven't never been. No, the west is KKK too, because I did Flushing, and I showed the Knights Templars cross, the Illuminati pyramid. You know what I'm saying? I had to get some shit hits the fan extracted information out of that Flushing while I was out there. And, I surveyed the territory. I didn't know about prayer walking then. I should have went and prayed over all that stuff and you know what I'm saying, and stirred and shaked up the spiritual realm. It's like someone was telling me, they were saying like, look, you gotta get a fucking spirit reputation where the spirits are like, oh shit, there he is, let's go, and they disappear, so you don't even see the spirits because they're hiding from you now. And it's not, they're not hiding from you. It's just like, look, it's the word of God that they're afraid of. It ain't you. If God has given you some of his word to retain, that's what they fear. Because that is a catalyst to give you a faith which unlocks supernatural gifts, spiritual gifts from God, like good ones. It's like, here, it's like you recognize what God's given you and he wants you to use it in the right way, not the wrong way. That's what all these warnings are about. Watch, always be sober. Sober doesn't mean not being like buzzed on weed or drunk. It actually means adhering to sound doctrine. See, if you adhere to the sound doctrine enough, it'll probably stop you from being fucked up all the time. But it doesn't necessarily it's going to stop you from doing it every now and then or whatever. And even if you do it right, you'll be able to conduct yourself and still not overdo it. And it's that, you know what I'm saying? And that's in the Bible too. No one wants to look at that part of it. But because it has such a tendency to go wrong, you know what I'm saying? You know, hey, I guess, you know, that's why you got to, that's why there's the reason for the warning label. But anyway, this is all some interesting this is an interesting topic here with the spiritual warfare, man. It's like I don't know, man. It's very, you got to be very intuitive. It's like, look, see, when you train in kung fu, it teaches you to have this kind of body that is, it's sensing constantly. It's like listening. Your body, your skin, the sensation on your skin is listening for the next person to move. It's like, I can't even talk. My body will talk on its own. It listens and it responds in a way that I couldn't perceive with just my. It's a strange thing. It's like that could be. Look, you can feel the wind. Like if I went like this or by your face, you would feel the wind. So I mean, look, I just changed the large surface area. Your skin's gonna get cool real quick, right? So I mean, like, look, that's information, invisible information. I mean, in a way, it's same thing with sensing someone's spirit. Could you ever see someone who's smiling and acting all nice, but really they're kind of being like it looks like they're reaching out to start a fight. They're trying to draw you in. It's like, in a way, I want to be mad and I don't really have no reason to, so I'm going to act like I'm being nice, but I'm really sitting and listening and waiting for any opportunity to provoke you and then blame you for starting it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could perceive all that through subtle indicators. Some are spiritual, some are just perception. Some of it is, you know, self-evident in a way once you're aware of it, but it's like, if you're ignorant of something, your brain doesn't know how to process the information correctly. So I mean, it's like once you're aware of body language, you'll process more information when people use body language. It's like, this is what I see about a lot of people. And maybe I'm guilty of the same thing, but they're way too heavy on the body language. It's like, whoa, man, you are fucking just chopping at me with the machete and the axe. You got an axe in one hand and machete in the other, and you're like, wah, 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 wah. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? To hang with them, and it's like, wait a second. You know what I'm saying? And try to get people to, it's like, I'm listening. And yeah, I understand you're excited. You know what I'm saying? But you are fucking blasting me like Godzilla. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Which it's cool to see some people. Some people can get excited and not over blast you with it. You know what I'm saying? But some people, it's like they ain't been doing it for long enough. You know what I'm saying? So that they're not. I guess they're not. They're clumsy. Go ahead. They're clumsy with their body language. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know its real effect yet. And if they're talking to you and you practice being stoic all the time, even if you're totally not, you just practice it enough. It even forces them to do more bold and exaggerated body language.